Hey guys, After here, welcome back. I'm going to do our first look today. It's Lichdom Battlemage. Now, this game is currently in pre-alpha by Xavient Games, and it is $19.99 on Steam. I believe that's actually going to be a deal because when it is released, whenever that may be, I believe it's going to be released for $40. Don't quote me on that. Again, it is pre-alpha, so those things are subject to change. Haven't been doing a lot of first looks on early access games lately, simply because, well, it's kind of hard to dictate on my part or on your part if you want to get this game, just because it's pre-alpha. You don't know if you actually want to spend that money now or later. You definitely don't want to get burned out on it. However, after playing this game, I have had a bunch of fun. The game looks, I feel like it's unique. I've had a bunch of fun doing it, and I just decided that I really need to kind of share this with you guys. So let's take a look at the options menu real quick. Game options. It's pretty lack. Now, just a full disclosure here, again, it's pre-alpha, so it's not even alpha yet. So anything that's almost a black mark in this game, you can obviously already just kind of throw out the window, because simply put, pre-alpha, you can assume that there's going to be more options there. Sound options, you got your some nice sliders. Dialogue, as it stands right now, is not currently in the game, so I'm guessing they will add that. Graphics options, you have AA right now is completely turned off, which is, I guess, fine. You can go to System Spec Custom. Does that enable it? No, it doesn't. So you get custom. Right now I have everything on high. I could do it very high. I don't really see any performance difference. Currently the game is pretty solid at 30. That's what they're shooting for. It feels a little laggy at 30, to be honest, but I think that's kind of to be expected. But again, I would assume that that's going to definitely get optimized and be much better going forward, which is always nice. Got your brightness. 3 options looks a little, it's probably just not working right now. Controls, forward WASD, spell 1, 2, 3, interact F, pull 0. It's pretty basic stuff right now. One thing to note, these all started like on 50, so as soon as I went in the game, I was like, I touched the mouse and just, it went crazy. So keep that in mind if you end up getting that. You might want to switch those around first. So you have your characters. You can have multiple characters. Obviously, it's clean. Pretty simple stuff, again, pre-alpha. I can do a new game or resume. I'm going to go into resume in a second here. First, I want to just point out, if you hit F1 for help, it actually does give you a much better idea of what the controls are. So obviously, it's your movement, your spell banks, your dodge, direction, your AoE targeted berry, which I'll explain here in a moment. Pretty cool. Again, in this game, it's got good music. As you can hear in the background, it's a pretty nice game so far. Let's go ahead and resume my current character. Give you a little bit of a Lichdom Battlemage. One thing what I will say is the loading screens are a little bit tedious, but again, alpha, pre-alpha at that. So as we wait here, the whole crux, or the whole point of this game, is basically making you a battle mage. So there's no mana or anything like that. You can cast basically as many skills as you want. You're only limited to the your ability to cast them. Basically not even the cooldown, just really the speed at which you can cast them. The game itself looks good. Obviously, you see it's a little bit of issue with loading and a little bit of rendering issue, but overall, it's pretty cool, pretty good. Once you're in there, once you start playing for about 5-10 minutes, it kind of seems to really kind of catch up and do a very good job. Right now, it is sitting at a steady 50 frames per second or so. Not too bad. So ultimately, what you have here is you start with 2 skills. You start with Fire and Ice. I believe there's currently I think 3 or 4 right now. I believe you can also get Delirium and Corruption, which are just kind of more skill sets, right? So Corruption obviously would be like a damage over time. Delirium, I think, that like makes them run in fear and things like that. As you can see, there's a little bit of frame drop there. But it's a pretty cool game. I haven't even got to that point yet, but I've read about it, so I'm interested to see now. I've played this game for quite a few hours already, I think 3 or 4. Still haven't got them. I think I might be going a little slow here, and I keep dying because this game is a little hard. I think I kind of don't go on the beaten path anyways. People say this game's linear, but it is, but who cares? It's fun. So bottom left, you see I have 3 little pips there. That's my HP. So basically once one is completely gone, it will be gone until you are able to heal through different orbs that you will find. Or if it's not completely gone, it will regen by itself. Obviously once all 3 are gone, you're dead. You can easily switch between the skills in the bottom right. As you can see right there's fire, that's ice, either through a mouse wheel or just hitting 1, 2. Each ability has a different type of like effect to it. So obviously ice, if you do a critical, you kind of freeze them. If you charge the ability to the point where it does that little chime there, it'll automatically freeze them. Or fire will make them basically be burned and they'll do damage over time. So let's see a little bit of the combat if we can. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. If you hold both mouse buttons down at the same time, you can do like an AoE effect. And then just the right mouse button, you will do this little shield thing. Now, this little shield's technically called the barrier. And as you can see, there's a little nice like flame flash for a second there. If you can like properly block the enemy, it actually completely negates the damage and does quite a bit of damage to the enemy. So let's go ahead and see if we can just show a little bit of combat. Then I want to talk a little bit about the crafting and the skill system in this game, which is, I think, very unique and very cool. Oh, and you can dodge with spacebar. Which you kind of like throw all these flames out, and it's actually the same amount of damage. It's actually really the same spell as if you properly hit dodge there. Or I should say a shield barrier. I'm kind of scared to go down here, but let's do it. So you can see the game is a pretty game. Now I can blow these things up and they basically end up bringing you... Oh, there's a mini boss, Leech. They bring you basically your crafting items. So here's the comment. So what I'm really... Oh, I got frozen there. That's not good. So what I'm going to basically keep doing is basically just kind of kiting and dodging. Those archers, if you notice, the archers just shot at me. They do a bunch of damage. So those are a little bit harder. We'll make sure you kind of time the dodges a little bit better with them. Besides, I don't need to worry about these guys who kind of attack you. They kind of rush at you. Pretty basic stuff. You're basically just a battle mage trying to defend yourself from warriors, archers, and the like. There's a mini boss leech here that obviously I want to try to end up killing. I found the best way right now to attack the enemies and do a lot of damage is to kind of dodge right on top of them. As you can see, it just does a lot of damage to them. 94 there. Now, you see I do normal damage. I'm hitting about for 45 every time I hit. Now if I can get a critical or if I charge it, you see the little bit of damage over time there, those little 10s. Meanwhile, I'm getting screwed. Oh. Now, the actual attacking is kind of like a homing ability, so you kind of just have to attack in the general vicinity and it will hit them. Which is really cool. As you can see at the top of the screen, I keep getting drops or pickups. Every time you I shouldn't say every time you kill. Usually when you kill, you could get a drop. It could be anything from like a common to an uncommon. There's just different types of things that you can craft, and again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes after we get done with this fight. But that's kind of like the loot system in this game, which is pretty cool. Did I kill everybody? I believe so. So if you're wondering where to go, you can always hit V, and a nice little hawk will pop out. One thing to note is this game really doesn't tell you anything. Again, pre-alpha, so you kind of have to figure out for yourself. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit more of a walkthrough as well than a straight up just first look. Journal update, as far as I can tell, there is no journal right yet, so keep that in mind. Also, if you guys don't see any cutscenes, which we might not, shouldn't really say cutscenes, there's little areas where I can find like little dialogue chats between, I don't know if it's like your past or whatever, but there's no voice acting or anything like that yet. I'm assuming there will be, but right now it's pretty bland, but it is in there so far. So let's look at the crafting menu real quick. So what you have is you have sigils and spells. So as I said, right now you start with fire and ice. I said there's a couple more you can get. You have you could technically unequip it and you could have 3 at any given time. So I'm gonna fire, ice. Obviously, that's the only 2 I have. I have defensive 1, which is a shield, which is technically what the 3 blue bars down on the left. So what you can do is you can basically upgrade any of these spells or skills as well as your shield. Now you do that by crafting. So if I wanted to craft a shield, I put it in there. Okay, so now it says, okay, your defensive shield, you want to craft it. Now I have some shield patterns here. Well, it's a hardened quick shield pattern, which obviously it's green, so I'm going to want to use that. I could put that in there. And then I would have one spot because it says it has, can I take that back out? It has one augment slot, so I can augment at one time. I can use all this different stuff. So we have control, we have destruction, and we have mastery. Each one kind of does something different, right? So we can see destruction, control, that's kind of both. Let's do just singular for the purpose of this video. If I add mastery, I'd add basically health per pip and regen per second. If I added control, I would add regen per second, but a little bit of regen delay, or less regen delay. And if I added destruction, I'd get regen delay and health per pip. Okay, so it's pretty cool, and that's just for the shield alone. So if I added fire, now these patterns, all these patterns kind of depend on which spell it will be. So let's go back to the spells real quick. Each skill, I guess you could say, or each sigil has 3 different corresponding: a barrier, like a storm or AoE, and a direct damage. So if I wanted to craft a fire and I wanted to craft an AoE pattern, obviously that would be the AoE. Makes sense. If I wanted to craft my barrier, I would put the barrier on. Okay. If I want to craft a fireball or just a single type, I would put the targeted pattern there. So I have a pretty nice AoE pattern. So let's go ahead and craft this. So already, let me see, already off the bat it comes with, let's kind of try to explain this. So it has a 3-meter AoE radius, which is standard, 18% reduction damage on kill for 10 seconds, 1 augment slot, and a 1/1/2 spell property, which kind of means it already comes preloaded with a little bit of oomph or a little bit of buff to it. So this is what I get already. So I would obviously want to increase the damage because I'm all about damage. So 2 control, 2 control, 2 destruction. I'd say 2 destruction because that's going to increase the damage. Slap that in there. So now I have up to 84 damage. Awesome. Craft it. Perfect. Continue. Now we can go ahead and equip it. Spells. Oh, excuse me. So, where is she? Firestorm. There we go. You can just simply right click it. Now we see the old Firestorm in there with 84 damage. We have this new one that has, we can hold shift to see everything. All that good stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, Avatar, what's this third? Synthesis. Okay. Synthesis is something else entirely. You can take basically 3 of any one thing and you can upgrade it. So I could put 3 AoE, normal AoE patterns in it and it would give me, you know, like a green AoE pattern, for instance. I could put like 3 masteries in there. It could either give me an upgrade mastery or it might even give me a pattern. However, I could put like 3 firestorms or 3 flame barriers in there, the actual skill itself, and it'll actually upgrade my sigil itself. So as you can see, sigil stats in the bottom right there, I have plus 11% critical chance, and I got that from basically synthesizing 3 fireballs and 3 firestorms already. So if we want, let's see if we can't, yeah, let's do another AoE pattern here. So I don't want to do anything too crazy. Let's put a mastery in there, craft it. I'm an idiot. That was definitely ice. Continue. Let's put fire. There we go. AoE pattern. Mastery. Craft. We don't want to equip. Okay. Do we have 3 firestorms yet? We have 2. We need 1 more firestorm. Bloody hell. I need 1 more AoE pattern. Give me an AoE pattern. Small AoE. Mastery. Craft. Continue. Synthesis. Flame barrier. Oops. Firestorm, firestorm, firestorm. Synthesize. Alright, so I have this option. I can replace my current sigil bonus with Vault of Fire with plus 11 critical strike, which would basically do nothing because that's what I have right now, or I could plus 11 and plus 2 loot chance. Go ahead and do that. Now, if it's working properly, yep, we see the plus loot chance. Cool. So obviously you're going to want to start, you know, obviously my next step would be to start trying to blow up or synthesize, you know, blue flame barriers or blue fireballs or what have you. So it's pretty cool. And I like this because you can't, you know, in the first couple hours I've been playing this, the game's almost made me upgrade these. You know, I can't me upgrading them is almost entirely important, or, you know, hell will be paid, and I would die very horribly. Where did we come from? Did we come from over here? I can't go back up there. That's no fun. Well, that's okay. What I want to show you guys is something cool about this game that I've noticed. I'm going to go to... Let's quit. Yes. Now we're going to wait a few minutes for a loading sequence, but I want to show you a little bit more of the combat. There's like a little like random fork in the road from which basically we could go the way I just went, or we can go the other way. The other way is much, much harder, and to put it honestly, I haven't been able to beat it yet. Oh, and that is very nice. Well, let's see if hopefully resuming this will fix it. If not, we will be doing a restart, which is always fun. Again, pre-alpha, guys, pre-alpha. So the movement and the overall interaction in the game, it can feel a little sluggish at times, which again, I hope the optimization fixes that, which I'm sure it will. But the combat itself, I've seen some feedback saying the combat's boring and repetitive, but I disagree. I have only really done anything with the fire, and you know, the fact that there's other spells. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and restart this. Hold on a second here. Ah, much better. All right, so we can actually see again. Lovely. So, as I was saying, the combat overall, people think it's repetitive. People seem to not have... I shouldn't say people, I should say some people seem to have an issue with the repetitives. I think it's awesome. I think the whole idea of a battle mage and being able to do it is really sweet. I think there is some replayability in this game, and there will be replayability, simply because I don't know how it's going to get, but right now I've been basically able to kind of invest everything I have into just fire. I don't know if the game's going to really be able to offer multiple, like, I don't think you're going to have enough loot to basically upgrade everything. And I feel like, you know, multiple playthroughs can be done with multiple different skills and everything. So here is the alternate route that we went, and there's this big thing, and I haven't been able to beat this yet, so we will see what happens if I can beat it for you guys right here, right now. We'll talk about the game. Oh, I just got shit out by a fucking archer in the process. So maybe we'll see a death here. Maybe I'll do an attempt or two. So let's talk about the fact that it's pre-alpha right now, and it's $20. Should you buy it? Should you not buy it? Well, I look at this two ways. I think the game is, even though it's in pre-alpha, I think it's definitely playable. When I think pre-alpha, usually I think unplayable and really just still at the very, very, very beginnings of testing. I've had legitimate enjoyment out of this game, pre-alpha or not. And there I died. That's why you upgrade your shield, see? Just I feel like, you know, if you are the type of person who is really looking for a game where you would love to be a battle mage, go buy this game. If you are looking to really keep on helping developers with their games, this is one hell of a game to look at as far as that. Even if you aren't ready to make that investment quite yet, I strongly urge you to put this game on your, you know, checkout list. Whether it's, you know, in 3 months, 6 months, or whenever they release it, you're definitely going to want to see what this game has to offer once it's released, because it's definitely going to be worth it. Now, if it does really be released at that $40 price point, I would say that, hey man, if you pick it up now for 20 bucks, that's a steal. Even if you just pick it up now and, you know, perhaps just don't play it even. I mean, now again, that's not confirmed, but you know, it's this game is definitely going to have, in my opinion, some replayability, even if it is on the proverbial rails that some people believe it to be on. Now, a lot of people kind of say, hey, this game, it's, you know, you do the same thing, it's just kiting and throwing fireballs or throwing icicles or what have you, you know, that's all you do over and over and over. Don't let that discourage you, because, I mean, if you think about it, how many games are... Cut, you freaking archer, really? How many games are repetitive like that anyway? I mean, any dungeon crawler you honestly do is going to be spam the same 2 or 3 abilities the entire time, and they don't look this good. You know, what is Diablo? What is Path of Exile? I mean, I know it's different genre, but still, I mean, I personally don't mind dodging, throwing fireballs at these people. On top of that, as you can see, like, it's pretty simple. Well, it's not very hard to die. It really isn't. So it's not a super easy game. And again, this is just a couple hours in. And I'm sure the devs could have probably got to this point in like 30 minutes. I really don't know how fast they could possibly be, but I feel like I'm definitely still in kind of one of the starting areas of this game. To be fair, a lot of that time was spent, as you can imagine, trying to figure out that crafting system with all the oh man, crafting system with all of its glory. Synthesizing, trying to figure out what all the little numbers mean and everything. Hopefully, if you do pick this up, that will help you save you a headache a little bit. Oh, and then there's a freaking... No! One thing I noticed, this game is extremely hard to use the AoE abilities. Oh, shit. It just seems like you don't have the time. Yeah, that's right. You can see that 11% critical rate going to use there. Boom. Oh, man. So yeah, again, I don't know if this game is going to be like this the entire time, but as you can see, I had 2 clear paths to go, and the left path obviously chose this huge freaking arena almost, where there's all these bosses I have to kill. And the other... Oh, shit. And the other basically spawned that one little mini-boss, and that was it. Die, you bloody skeletons. Also want to note that the content isn't fully developed yet, obviously because it's in pre-alpha. So even if you purchase the game, you're not going to be able to like beat the game already. So, I mean, if people want to complain about the fact that it's linear or that there's not many, you know, enemy types, I mean, they have a lot of time to correct that if they're planning on, or adding if they're planning on. Oh, shit. I hate these archers. Like, I don't know if I just need to upgrade the shield more, or if, like, I'm trying to pass a level by doing this, but, like, at this point... I was about to say, at this point, one more arrow shot will destroy me. Ugh. That sucks. But ultimately, guys, I think I read a review somewhere where it said one of the most polished pre-alpha games I've ever seen, and that's true. Overall polish, probably not. Polish for pre-alpha? Hell yes. So, for 20 bucks, whether you buy it now and play it later, or buy it now and play it now, I don't honestly think you're going to be able to go wrong with this one, guys. So, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll leave you with a little bit of skeleton killing goodness here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.